What went on this weekend at WWE Crown Jewel? I think we all know what. None of this is going anywhere, right? I didn't like promoting it when I worked there, but at some point, those shows for a bit had more of a regular spot within creative. Like it was still part of, building to something. And not to say that happened. That didn't happen over the weekend at Crown Jewel. But I think at the beginning, it was a big ass house show. And not a lot came from it. Why we have been talking about Braun Strowman win the greatest Royal Rumble and that green belt that we never saw again. That's what a lot of the early Saudi shows were. And, booking these random matches just to get the star power on there. I remember that Cena Triple H match. I mean, there was some random stuff just for star power. And it felt like kind of an all-star game house show, and let's take care of what the Saudis want. And then it started to become more of a show where things mattered, finishes mattered, storylines got finishes, storylines got told the right way, or not to take away from how unfortunately charged the conversation is about going there. Because, like I said, it doesn't feel great. And I said this a few times in the last couple of weeks, that it felt like this show, this past weekend, was getting in the way of booking, was a nuisance to deal with, was getting in the way of what has been a strong reheating of the Bloodline story before Saturday. The last two Smackdowns, everything with Jimmy and Jay and Roman and Sammy as of last Monday, you can see it in the way the crowd reacts. You can hear it in the way the crowd reacts. It's people wanted to see them come back together. There hasn't been a comeback like that since the Shield came back together. But I even thought that was sloppy, and it was. This is being done a lot better. This is being done where, hey, we love these guys. We know they're stars. We like everything they do. Now we have every reason to cheer them because you've put them up against, the new bloodline, the bad guys, the guys that have done nothing but beat up heels and gone after Roman and Jimmy and Jay and all that. They're trying to be the more dangerous, bloodthirsty. Okay, cool. And they've done a great job with that. And I was legitimately surprised that they, number one, even booked the new Bloodline versus OG Bloodline in a match before Survivor Series. Could not believe that was done. And the teaming up was done on this show. And only announced last Monday because I assume they wanted to try to get some kind of promotion out of it. Because the problem was, and this is what I couldn't talk about because I didn't want to spoil the show for anybody, the reunion angle on Smackdown with Roman and Jay and the Yeet and people going nuts, and that should have aired before the match was announced. That was a Vince pilled move. Not saying he's around. I'm just saying, we got to get it out there. How are Jay and Roman cool teaming? They didn't have a conversation yet. Why are we announcing that match? They did it out of order. That's exactly what happened. They did it out of order. And it's a hot product right now, and people want to see them tag up. So guess what? It's okay. And it got the reaction, and it got a reaction on Saturday. But it was very much just skipping a step for the hell of it. because they needed to, because they happened to double tape. Maybe write that story a week earlier. Maybe everything moves up a week so you don't have to announce a match that really makes no sense in terms of the relationship between Roman and Jay. I know it was already taped. I get that. But in canon, it didn't air till Friday. Nothing had happened yet until Friday. I don't get that. And as I said, I think there you go. This show was a nuisance. And you had a 7-match card turn into, for all intents and purposes, a house show. A house show with 2 TV angles. That was this show. A house show with 2 fairly well done, by the way, TV angles. No championships changed hands. And yet, 2 champions lost. The opening match should have felt like a much bigger deal, and it wasn't. After those entrances, that settled in to a house show 6-man tag. And they did something that I am not sure is going to get the result they want. I don't know how many people were expecting Roman Reigns to get pinned on Saturday. I was not. I thought the new Bloodline had to win in some way, but they did not see Solo pinning Roman. Now, that gets back to a conversation I've had a lot in the last couple of weeks on this show, on Busted Open. I talked about it on Bleacher Report. There is something in Solo Sikoa. I don't think they have done him any favors in terms of his development with going from the silent enforcer to the leader of a group where he has to be the mouthpiece and cut promos every week. I think he's starting to come into his own in the last month. I think he's feeling more confident in the role. I think he's playing the role better. But it was always going to be an uphill journey to present the new Bloodline on the same level of the old Bloodline, which you can make the argument from a continuity standpoint, from a consistency standpoint, from the members that were in the group for just about the entire run. The original Roman, Jay, Jimmy, Sammy, Solo, Heyman Bloodline was as dominant as any bloodline in the history of pro wrestling. So now you're trying to put together a group that could be legit challengers to them. And it's been tough. Now, Roman should have been taken out a couple times, and he was. And Jimmy having to tell, we need help. Okay, I get all of that. They had Solo Sikoa pin Roman Reigns on Saturday. Roman has lost to Jey Uso, Cody Rhodes. Am I missing anything? Solo Sikoa, Cody Rhodes, Jey Uso, Baron Corbin. That win for Solo Sikoa should be a big deal. I don't know if it's viewed that way. I don't know if his standing in the eyes of the fans of not being on the level of Roman, and not necessarily being on the level, because nobody could be on that level. Not after the run, not after how he was booked. But did Solo get put on that level? And did they throw away a loss for Roman Reigns? His second match back, he loses in a 3-on-3 match, 4-on-3 situation. But let's be honest here. Did Tonga Loa really tip the scales? Hey, this is Matt Camp. Thanks for checking out one of our recent clips from the wrestling mat. Why is someone so close to The Rock kind of throwing Cody under the bus?
Yeah, a lot of people won't engage with Jim Cornette. I did, just because I have a mark for Jim Cornette. And
Please subscribe right now. Hit the like and turn on notifications so you don't miss a thing. And I think you should listen to your TV partners. Let me tell you about WWE and a little insight. More subscribers means more content. And make sure you follow us on social media at WrestlingMat23 on both Twitter and Instagram.